I just met a new friend a couple days ago, and we invited him to come in and be with us today. His name is Marc Christensen, and he's the Oregon area rep for Christian Motorcycles Association, and you probably have seen these guys all over the place, maybe in your rear view mirror. Maybe you've been riding behind them. I don't know, but they're a great bunch and they do some good work. Marc, nice to see you. How you doing, my friend?
We're doing good.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
All right, so you rep all of Oregon?
No. What the way the structure is, we have CMA is an international organization. The headquarters is in Hatfield, Arkansas.
Okay.
And then for the U.S., there's 6 what they call national evangelists that have, so there's 6 regions, and we're in the western region.
Okay.
And then below that, every state has a state coordinator, and then every state coordinator has a number of area reps that work for them. So I have kind of the we're kind of responsible for encouraging and supporting the chapters in Southern Oregon. We have Eugene, Roseburg, Medford, and a new chapter we're just starting up in Grants Pass.
Good for you. Good for you. So how many members you got, roughly?
Let's see. There's about 24,000 in the U.S. And about 300 here in Oregon. And let's see. Medford chapter is probably around 15 or so.
Oh, that's wonderful. So what is the purpose of what you guys do? What do you do?
Our main purpose is to minister to motorcyclists of all kinds. It doesn't matter whether it's black leather Harley riders or the folks that go out to the dunes and play around in quads.
Yeah.
And really, we're out there to share the love of Jesus with these folks. We consider it a servant ministry. One of the things we say is we're there when you need us. And so we try to serve in a variety of ways. I brought a couple of props.
Yeah.
This is a cup that we use. We have a water ministry at a lot of the events.
Oh, there you go.
And
so
it's got
water in this.
And it's got some gospel information on it. And so we serve water and coffee at motorcycle rallies. And
it says here how to find God and eternal life. And then you got some steps there and even a prayer and what to do.
Yeah.
There you go. There's one way, serving the Cup of Cold Water Ministry, huh?
Yeah, Cup of Cold Water Ministry.
Yeah.
We do things. For example, this year there's a big motorcycle rally at Hell's Canyon near Baker City, and we had folks there. Sharon and I worked at the national BMW rally. Happened to come to Oregon this year.
Wow!
So there were about 5,000 BMW riders in Salem. So we were up there serving up there. So that's our I guess our methodology is to get out there and serve the motorcyclist community across the whole spectrum and share the love of Jesus with them.
Well, you got some other things here.
This is a Bible that's published by our headquarters. It's called Hope for the Highways. It's like Psalms in the New Testament.
Good.
There's some testimonies in there about of people that have been saved through the ministry.
Wow.
The other ministry we have is what we call rag tracks. They're basically like shop rags, and they've got some Bible verse on them as well. And we kind of say that this rag is for cleaning up the mess in the house, and Jesus is for cleaning up the mess in your life.
That's great. That's great. You guys do a lot of riding. You have fun rides and all that, but you also help people with their motorcycles and things like that.
Yes. We try to help people. Some chapters have a trailer, so if you break down in their neck of the woods and you call them, they'll come out with their trailer and pick up your bike and take you to the shop.
Wow.
In our personal life, my wife's brother and sister-in-law were out. They were about 5 hours from home riding their Goldwing trike. He had a heart attack while he was riding it.
Ooh. Crashed
into a car in front of him. She was badly injured, taken to the hospital. And somebody called my wife's sister, grabbed her cell phone and like you would typically do in an accident scene, called my wife's sister's name was the first on the list. So they called her and said that there had been an accident and they couldn't reach their son, Sharon's nephew. So her sister called us because we had been they lived in Virginia, so we had been back there. So she called us to see if we knew what was going on. We did a little checking around, and Sharon remembered that they were part of a CMA chapter in Virginia Beach. So she called the chapter back there, They immediately called the chapter in the town where the accident had occurred. Folks came out from the chapter, prayed with Sharon's sister-in-law. Once they got a hold of their son, he's in Washington, so he had to fly out there. They gave him a place to stay. They put him up in their house. And they just really took care of him.
Now, one of the other things that you have been involved, at least the CMA overall, is that you guys help fund the Jesus film.
Yes.
And that is a worldwide success story.
Yeah, we have, it's our only fundraiser. It's called Run for the Sun. And we have 3 ministry partners. We have Missionary Ventures, the Jesus Film Project, and Open Doors.
Oh.
And so of the money we collect, which last year was almost $4 million, we give 20% to the Jesus Film, 20% to Missionary Ventures, and 20% to Open Doors. And then we use 40% goes back into the ministry here. None of it funds day-to-day operations. It all goes back into the ministry in one form or another.
Boy, that's wonderful.
Missionary Ventures, if you're not familiar with that, they provide transportation to indigenous pastors all around the world. We've helped purchase in the neighborhood of 5,000 motorcycles, probably 7,000 or 8,000 bicycles, some horses, outboard boats and outboard motors. And just last year, we provided a camel.
Well, there you go. Whatever it takes.
Yeah, whatever it takes. I mean, the idea is that by providing reliable transportation to these pastors and evangelists out there, that they can start, because they can go out and start churches in a much broader area than they otherwise could.
That's wonderful. All right, couple things. How do people get a hold of you, or if they have a bike and they want to ride with a purpose? How do they get a hold of you, and what's the best way to join?
The best way to get a hold of us is through the national website. It's www.cmausa.org.
CMAUSA.org.
Correct.
Okay.
And on the website, there's a spot where you can find a chapter.
And direct you back to Oregon.
Our chapter here in Medford is called the Southern Oregon Soul Wheelers. We meet at 9 o'clock on the first Saturday morning of the month at Marie Callender's.
Okay.
So you could also, if you're in the local area, you can drop by and see us.
See all the bikes out there.
The Grants Pass chapter meets the first Saturday of the month, same time at the Black Forest Inn on E Street up in Grants Pass.
All right. The other question is, do you have to own a bike to belong?
No, absolutely not. We have, if you love the Lord and you have a spot in your heart for motorcyclists, then we can use you. We have several members around the country that
need somebody on the back.
Right? Yeah. And in a lot of different ways. I mean, we've had some folks that have remained active after they felt they no longer could ride, and we've had some people get involved just because they've got a heart for motorcyclists.
All right, and so you're non-discriminating on motorcycle types, right?
Absolutely non-discriminating on motorcycle types. We try to minister to everybody from Harley riders to people that ride quads. Yeah, Sharon and I ride a Goldwing.
Yeah.
There's some.
I know that those rubs are fun. But they do occur.
They do occur.
Yeah. Sit around a campfire and criticizing one another.
Some of that takes place.
From a good point, yeah.
And
sharing Jesus at the same time.
Yeah, it's in good. We always try to remember that it's in good fun, and that what you ride is far less important than that you ride, or that you just have a love for motorcyclists.
Well, Marc, thank you for what you guys do, and thanks for coming in on short notice. And I also want to say, check it out. It's CMAUSA.org, and then you can go to that website and track back all the way back to where Marc oversees Southern Oregon. So if you have a bike, or if you don't have a bike, but you like motorcycles and you want to be a part of this, they minister to people all over the place, on the road, off the road. One of their big national projects is to fund the Jesus Film, which, quite frankly, is people are coming to the Lord literally by the thousands through that film, millions actually. Around.
Yeah, I think I recently saw that it's been seen by something like 84 million people in 200 countries.
Yeah, it's just a remarkable tool that the Lord is using. So anyway, thanks for what you guys do. And they have these Hope for the Road, or Hope for the Highway, I should say, New Testaments and Psalms and testimonies and all kinds of other material. So, Marc, thanks, my friend.
Okay, thank you.
All right, and
Appreciate
safe
it.
riding to you, and
Thank you.
hope to see you out there. When I see you in my rearview mirror, I'll wave at you, okay?
All right.
All right, we'll be right back.
Okay.